on, y'all? It's your boy Gibbons here.
Yeah, we'll see.
And welcome to yet another episode of the Chromas Podcast, episode 46, ladies and gentlemen. We've made it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and you hit that notification bell. So the next time you get on YouTube and you're scrolling down that YouTube slide there, we will be one of the first videos that you see. And most of all,
it is free to do so. So please make sure to do all those things. Jay's still having difficulty after all this time for our longtime viewers and listeners. But we're going to continue to remind him each and every time, each and every Sunday. So please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like our content, support it, guys. Yeah, definitely subscribe to it so you don't miss any of the gems that we drop it every week. And be sure to pass it along too.
Yeah, pass it along to your friends, your family, your loved ones, cousins, brothers, uncles, fathers, moms, nephews, enemies, everybody. Let everybody know about the gems that Chromas gives out. As I always start these podcast episodes, man, what a week it has been. It seems like every single week has been some sort of adventurous week or something crazy happened or some other whatever. I mean, every single week is active. It's very very deep. It's very reflective. It's always crazy. And last week was crazy as any other week has been. If you watched episode 45, you'll know I had a bit of an eye injury. And we were talking about last week what it meant and what it felt like to be thankful. And I got to be thankful, honestly, that I still have vision, because that's one thing that I was worried about, especially my right eye. I was wondering, am I going to be able to see? Is this going to get worse? I didn't know at the time, because at the time we recorded it, I still hadn't seen the surgeon. I was able to see the surgeon earlier this week. Thankfully, 95% sure I will not need surgery. But on the flip side, there is also a 95% chance that I may have double vision for the remainder of my existence. So I could say that I wasn't thrilled to hear that, but the fact that I still have great vision, the fact that I'm still able to use and move my eyes, the fact that I'm able to blink, the fact that the pain, it's gone away, it's subsided a bit. So all of those things are things that I can be thankful for. And I know last week was Thanksgiving, and that is one thing that I am thankful for, that, out of all of these injuries, I think this one, even though it wasn't the most severe, it was the one that I was most afraid of, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was at the ER. They didn't know what to do. I went to a specialist. They referred me. So I'm like, is this serious or is this not? I don't know. But thankfully, the surgeon said it's possible that this will heal over time. 95% sure I wouldn't need surgery, but 95% sure that double vision will be part of my life for the rest of it. We'll see. So that was my week. How was yours?
Well, I'm glad you're 100% sure that that part of your career is rest aside, safe to say now.
Yes.
In all seriousness, though, glad that you're okay. We had a talk before we even got started here today about that. So, just being thankful that, everything happened the way it needs to happen and that you're okay. And that's what's important,
Absolutely.
For me, it's been a pretty hectic week as well. I've been sick most of this week, just fighting through it. Body's just not doing as well as it should be. Somehow I managed to get myself enough a respiratory infection. And it's, just when it seems like it's getting better, it was getting worse, all of that sinusitis, and a dab of a sprinkle of bronchitis. So yeah, it's not been so fun, but we fighters. Been taking care of myself. You guys know I do typically take very good care of myself. So it's just one of those things that happens where it's been a long time and the bug finally got me. Thank goodness it wasn't COVID when I got myself tested. So I was concerned about that for a while. Obviously, like what most people would be. But yeah, it's just, going through the motions. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little harder today to kind of talk. It's kind of been hard to talk lately. A little difficult breathing and soreness in the throat. But we love you guys so much, and would miss this for the world unless I just really could just get out of bed. So here I am, giving my thanks and just thankful to be here and be able to contribute and be right here with Jay and with you all as well this morning.
Absolutely, man. And look, I am also glad that you didn't get COVID, didn't get the Delta variant or the Lambda variant or the Omicron variant or whatever other variant is going to pop out of some part of the country next. I'm thankful that you're here. Thank you that you guys are here as well, to listen to these gems that we're going to put together for you today. Of course, this is what we do every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. So if this is your first time, welcome. Take a seat, take your shoes off, get comfortable, because we're about to dive right into this, man. So the one thing I gotta say, right? I mean, Chroma's Fitness, you see it on the hat, you see it on the shirt, you see it everywhere. It's also part of the 21-3 method that will, of course, be launching January 1st, 2022. And it is about this man's transformation. I want to say that it's done. It's being reviewed and edited, and it'll be ready right on time. Anything that we say here at Chroma's Fitness, we deliver on. So I cannot wait for January 1st. I can't wait for our community to dive into it, to read it, to literally be able to change your life within 21 days is the thing that fulfills us. So once you do get a copy of the 21-3 method, hit us up, DM us, hit us in the comments section, give us a call, email, whatever. Contact us and tell us your story. Tell us where you started. Tell us what your purpose is. Tell us what your ultimate goals are, or is rather. Tell us what your mini milestones are and how you're getting to where that goal is. And tell us about your journey through the 21-3 method. Look, it isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but I can guarantee you, if you commit yourself, you will get through it. And that is a very important aspect. We'll see how to do it. I had to do it to get through it myself, but we are very thankful to be able to get this opportunity to share that with you. And we can't wait for you to take a look at it. January 1st, 2022.
Yeah, so excited about this, brother. Just so excited to share this with the world. Of course, it's near and dear. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the Chroma's movement. It's a part of what it represents. What has transpired, what goes through your mind, through your body, through your spirit. What gives you that fight. What helps keeps you in line and discipline, and ultimately it represents change. It represents growth, and it's been one hell of a journey, and it's something that's continuous even after post conclusion to the book that you'll be getting soon. And again, as Jay said, please be sure to reach out to us however you can once you get a copy of it, if you've had a chance to go through and read it. And I've had a chance to go through it myself, Jay. And look, let me tell you something. It's a out of body experience to just be able to bear witness to transformation and recognize, how authentic and real it was, and to relive through some of those moments, and just embrace how powerful of a journey it was, and hoping that it reaches and it helps you all too, because every single step that was documented and written was sincere and is meant to truly make you better for you, no one else but yourself, because you are so damn worth it. And we believe it comes through clearly when you get your hands on this. So please reach out to us, DM us, message us. If you have our phone numbers, call us, text us, share your feedback on it as well. We want to know what your thoughts are, what you feel, and ultimately parts of it that you're going to utilize yourself to grow. What we like to believe is what we provided in this is different and revolutionary than anything you've had your hands on, and it's not the usual. It's no cliches. It's nothing that you would hear from a commercial ad 2-3 in the morning. There's no stuff like that, contrary to the business that we're in on that side. It's nothing like that. This is coming from two people no different than you, You know, and we can assure you, if you apply these methods, change will happen if that's what you're seeking.
That's absolutely true. And I do want to go back to what you said with some of these ads that you're seeing. I mean, obviously you're looking at this on YouTube, so you're familiar with some of the ads that interrupt your viewing experience on YouTube. And those I'll tell you that I'll tell you this right now, those products are not going to help you. And I'm not saying that to bash them or to people who are pushing it out, or I would hate for anybody to try to take money out of my pockets. But what I'm trying to say is that the one thing that a lot of these programs or exercise regimens or whatever, they're missing the aspect of sustainability. They're also missing the aspect of being something that will help you to transform your life. um, the approach that we wanted to take through this was for you to see somebody else go through it so that you can see exactly what they went through and you can measure it with yourself as well, right? You will see what Will went through his first week. There's a recap in there that explains exactly what he had to do, the challenges he had, what he had to overcome during that week. And it goes through those other 2 weeks as well after, with recaps and his actual entries for what he had to do, right? So we wanted to make this as realistic as possible. We wanted to make this as relatable as possible because it's what he went through. And we want your feedback as well on this, right? This isn't just us putting it out there, letting you guys dive into it and us walking away. This is a community. So we want to share this so that we can all grow. We can all become better. Because the thing about it is we all want to be successful, right? But we want to be around successful people. So why not build a successful community? Why not build a community of people who are not only like-minded, but are as driven and they drive each other? Um, I fully believe that that is the reason why we have made the brand that we have. The reason why we promote the brand that we do is strictly because we want this community to thrive. We want this community to grow. And we know that through the 21-3 method, that will happen. And I think for today's episode, which is also a pretty big aspect of the 21-3 method, it's how exercise itself can change your mindset. And initially when we were really talking about this and thinking about it, we were like, okay, we know that exercise can affect your brain, right? We know about the dopamine release. Whenever the brain is expecting a reward, you get this happy feeling, right? You also you get it exercising, but you also get it when you're, let's say you're about to eat one of your favorite foods, right? You get that release, that sort of pleasure feeling inside your body. So we know exactly how the brain is affected, but we wanted to take it a step further, because we felt as though if we phrased it this way and we talked about it in this light, we would be able to encourage you to really get right with your fitness, to really start exercising the right way. So that's why we wanted to focus more on the mindset rather than just the brain activity, because we believe that with the mindset, you'll be able to see and understand the differences day one. You'll be able to understand how you may sustain some of the changes that you're going to be going through, because you'll start seeing them, right? When you're exercising, when you're doing physical exercise or mental exercises, you will start seeing the changes in your brain. You'll start seeing the changes in your mindset. You'll start seeing the changes in your body. So we wanted to really touch on this in this episode, for episode 46 of the Chromas podcast. And for me, we'll see, fitness is, as I always say on this podcast, fitness has been a big part of my life. Started working out when I was in middle school, won some amateur powerlifting competitions in college. And to this day, I am just a gym rat, man. That's what I am. I'm an iron head. I love lifting. I love the feeling it gives me. I love the feeling of looking in the mirror and seeing the results that weren't there just a couple months ago. It's encouraging. It's motivating. I always say, you know, progress equals motivation. I feel as though that is the only way that you will ever be able to make progress, not just in fitness, but in life, right? I think once you continue to make progress, that then motivates you to continue to make more progress. It is really cyclical. And it has helped me to continue to exercise and continue to achieve the goals that I set for myself. But I got to tell you what, man, there is no way that I'd be able to achieve those goals if I didn't take it one percentage at a time. If I sat there and I thought that after day one of squatting, whether I'm squatting 315 or 275, whatever, if I thought after that first day that the next day I wanted to go in there and squat 600 pounds just off the break, I would snap both of my legs in half, right? Even if my mind was telling me, Jamal, you can do this, man. You can get away with this. This is something you can do. My body wasn't ready for that. My body wouldn't be ready for that. And the main reason, the main thing that would happen if my body wasn't ready for that is that I would then be unmotivated to go back. If both my legs snap and I now attribute injury to working out, I'm less likely to work out. I'm less likely to go to the gym because I'm like, well, damn, what if I run now? What if my legs snap? What if I ride the bike and my legs snap? Right? I'm starting to make all these different excuses. So we found out, not just with the 21-3 method, but with exercising in general, you take it one step at a time, right? You start with ground zero. You start from the beginning. Here's a great example. Alabama Crimson Tide, right? College football team, everybody knows them. They're one of the best in the country. They have been for several years now. The secret to their weightlifting abilities and their weightlifting program is not that every single person that goes there automatically is expected to squat 600 pounds or bench press 500 pounds or what have you. They literally all start from the bar. So imagine somebody who comes in 6'5", 300 pounds, can already squat a Mack truck, but you're being told that you have to start from ground zero. You have to start with 45 pounds in that bar. Everybody starts at that same point. Everybody builds over the 3 or 4 years that they're there, and everybody succeeds because it's all about that 1% change over time, right? Here's what happens. When you start from zero, you're able to understand functional movements. You're able to understand, okay, is my positioning correct? Is my form correct? Because if your form is incorrect and you're starting from nothing and you build up to 500-600 pounds on the squat and your form is incorrect, it can lead to permanent injuries. It can lead to imbalances in your body or your structure. So that's why it's so important to start off from the basics, get the fundamentals down, and then build from there. And I believe that is the biggest way that you can see sustainable change in your life is if you take that approach. You take it one step at a time. This is not a race. It has always been a marathon.
Well said, Jay. If I had to add anything to that, I would think, with the 1%, to keep in mind perspective. Perspective is everything when it comes to improvement, especially of any kind. And I think Jay gave a great analysis on like everyone coming in and starting at the same level. No matter, even if you're capable of more, you can give more, but consistency over time, and you perform each time, you get better. You are more sharp, more poised, because you've invested the time to take your time through whatever you're doing. And ultimately, if your mindset is in the right place and you understand what the end game is, so you're going to take the many milestones to get there. You will get there. You will achieve it. You just got to have the right outlook, just like anything in life that you deal with. But with exercise, again, it's the physical aspect to it, it's the mental side of it. And this is where that comes in, where you have that perspective and you embrace that kind of 1% mentality that, I'm a percent better today than I was yesterday. Whatever that may look like. and you take joy in that, and you be prideful about it. And hey, there are even those moments when, we all go through them, when you're not your best self and you may feel like you're letting yourself down. But I really feel like if you come in there with that mindset that Jay mentioned, and you really embrace that 1%, if you making it in, you've won already. So you're
Yep.
there, you might as well put the mindset right to where it needs to be. So
Yep.
one, that you don't harm yourself, you don't hurt yourself in this process, because
Yep.
coming in with emotions and angry, or like, crap, you admit defeat to yourself, that I'm not going to kill it today. I'm not even going
Yeah.
to be able to get myself the right news set, the right songs, the tracks are not coming on the plane. Man, I'm
Mm.
just not hitting my stride. I'm gonna just wait till I get that second win and come in. And you
Yeah.
start thinking about all those things, you've already psyched yourself out. So you come in there ground level, come in there, humble yourself to just getting better, just 1%. That's all
Mm.
you got to do for yourself.
Mm.
And in doing so, you're disciplining your process, you're disciplining your growth development, and before you know it, uh you're just gonna be better,
Absolutely.
because you are already taking the steps necessary. To me, you've already won. Anyone is willing that you look. Here's the thing: anyone I see, like, if I go to the gym in shape, just as in shape as I am or not, you've already won by showing up. You've already won by taking that step.
Mm.
So pat yourself on the back, but put that work in, earn that 1% that you're there to do, and be okay with that. Because being okay with that guarantees when you get back the next day, you're gonna be better at it.
And that's, I gotta say, bro, that is tough. I gotta say, man, it's tough. I look, I'm one of those guys. I'm very competitive, right? You,
Mhm.
you know this. I know you're competitive as hell too.
Yeah,
And when you get in the gym, sometimes you see some people that are just strong as an ox, man. You're like, bro, I don't even want to lift next to you, man. I'm a
yeah.
small next to you. Let's go on the treadmill or something. Let me hit the bike. Let me stay as far away from you as I possibly can, because you're just gonna make me look weak, because I'm nowhere
Yeah.
near you where you are right now. But
Mhm.
what's funny, that person had that same mentality as you do now. Everybody starts from somewhere. There's never been a person in his life has walked into gym for the very first time and hit those massive numbers that you're seeing them hit now. Everybody starts from somewhere. There's some people who have been lifting for years, some people who are just naturally stronger. It
Yeah.
happened, genetics plays a major role in that. But the beauty of it is, man, once you start lifting weights off the rack, whether it's after your third, fourth, fifth, sixth week in the gym, there is such a boost to your confidence, man, and it is addicting.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you what, man. When I first started bench pressing, this was back in high school. I lie to you not, like my ego was already through the roof, because, like I said, I was lifting a lot, but I never used to lift free weights. I was always lifting, cable weights, and I was hitting the seated chest press and all that stuff. So I'm going around bragging, man. Look, I can bench press 225, no sweat. I can put it on my shoulder, blah blah blah. I can put it on my chest, push that bad boy out, no issue at all. But I was humbled quickly when I went into that gym and I was surrounded with a bunch of other football players. I'm like, all right, oh boy, I lie to you not. I could not even get the bar off my chest.
Mhm.
What you have to understand is that when you're hitting free weights, there's those stabilizers that come into play that you don't really recognize when you're hitting stuff that has cables, right? Because cables have a point and a point, and they're fixed at a particular moment. So when you're lifting, when you're doing some sort of resistance training, you're not hitting all of the aspects of that particular body part, of that particular
Mhm.
muscle group. So when you start hitting free weights, and now you have to focus on your form a little bit more. You have to figure out how much mobility you have. And then you also have to make sure that the weight remains balanced, whether it's benching or squatting, or military press, shoulder press,
Mhm.
whatever it is. You got to make sure that you're not wobbling the entire time you're trying to lift, and that takes time. So it really humbled me to start from the bar, and start way back in high school. Very, very consistent through college, and I was able to hit 405 pounds. So just that alone should tell you that, number one, it takes time. But number two, it boosted my confidence. And I think that is a major change in my life that I don't think I would have had if I did not start exercising. Because everything else in life just, you feel like you can accomplish so many more things. That's why a lot of the entrepreneurs and a lot of the people who are successful in life, they tell you that exercise is something that's so important to them, right? Whether they're exercising early in the morning or later on in the afternoon. The ones who are very successful in life and seem to have it together, seem to be very organized and disciplined, are the ones that are eating right and the ones that are working out, because their
Mm.
lives are so regimented and they're so used to accomplishing a goal every single night. They're hitting the gym, whether it's increasing something by, 2.5 pounds, or running that extra lap, or riding that extra mile. Whatever it is, they're constantly accomplishing something, and their mind is getting used to that. So now every single thing they do, they have that mindset, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, they are constantly wanting to improve, constantly wanting to get better, and they are consistent with what they're doing. So I got to say that you would get a massive, massive boost in your confidence once you decide to make exercise a part of your life and watch it change your mindset permanently, man. It is something great to see, Will.
Yeah, yeah. The confidence, since you said it, it just made me think back to my journey and just taking pride in the development. And yeah, mindset and perspective is everything in that part because um you have those moments where you can't hit it as frequently. Like we were talking earlier, actually, I was like, look, these ailments and
Yeah.
these injuries we're both having, it makes it hard to maintain the consistency. So this is where the mind part of it comes in, because you have to maintain that discipline even when you can't physically exert it the way you need to. So it's so important that you make sure that you stay in a healthy thought process, where, like you mentioned, you still eating healthy enough, to not backtrack yourself, making sure that you get yourself the proper rest that you need, because that ultimately affect how you feel.
Yeah.
Affects, if that does play a role on it, and it can allow you to get to a point where you get this place of contentment, and you're just kind of like, it's all right. Tomorrow I get to it. Everything becomes an excuse at that point.
Yeah.
And then, everything goes out the window. There goes
Yep.
that 1%. There goes your
Mhm.
effort. There's goes your will. You forgot your purpose. You lose it. So, this is why we stress the importance of, like, not just being consistent with it, but making sure that, your mind is disciplined and trained too.
Yeah.
Because some of the most successful people in the world, that's how they operate with their mind. Their mind is strong. It's a fortress. It has to be, um, for moments that are great, and even when things aren't necessarily as great, may feel disappointing. They bounce right back. They learn from it, and they keep going. And even the way you look at it, they're 1% better today than they were the day before because of that
Mhm.
mindset and that outlook on life and the events and things that you're dealing with. And as it pertains to fitness, that really is everything. At least in my perspective, that's really
Yeah.
everything.
Yep. I absolutely agree. Same thing from my perspective. I mean, for the people that I've met in my life, that they've had struggles. We all do. We all have struggles in our lives, and at different paths that they've taken. The one path that has led to them becoming better than they ever have was the path they took when they decided to get in shape, when they decided to use fitness as an escape, when they decided to exercise in order to change their lives forever. And I mean, I can name so many people off the top of my head that I know personally who once they decided, and they committed to a particular purpose, they changed their entire, they changed their body, but it wasn't just their body. There was just this different, they moved differently. You know what I mean? It was this confidence boost. It was this completely different person that you've never met before, that you almost want to be like, because you're sitting there and you're like, I knew you before, this is not who you were. You have made a complete 180. And it's, for me, that enough is motivating. So this is the reason why we come together as a community to share these stories, because there is nothing more motivating than, number one, seeing people that you know personally achieve their goals, right? Because you knew where they were, you know where they are now, right? They may have been where you are, where when you were stuck, but now you see where they are and you're motivated to be exactly where they have gone to. But you have to understand what your purpose is. You have to know where you're going in life. And it has to be your purpose, right? We all have different purposes, but that is the one thing that brings us to the table. That is the one thing that drives us. That is the one thing that motivates us. It keeps us going every day. I know for you, we'll see it's the same for me too. That is what keeps you going. That's when whenever anything hits whenever crap hits the fan, whenever anything gets in your way, whenever you have any obstacles or hardships that you have to get over, that is the one thing that pushes you through. It's your purpose. And to understand that is to understand life. To understand that is to understand how to live. And I gotta say that exercise is a major part of all that. And it is a huge part of changing your mindset. So with all that being said, everybody out there, it is now your time to let your voice be heard. It is now your time to share with us exactly how exercise has changed your mindset. How were you before you started working out? I know you remember, because we all were somewhere before. Where were you? Where were you compared to where you are now? Have you had a time to sit down and really look at that, really understand that, really understand the perspective, understand the difference, not just in your body, but in your mindset? Tell us your story. Tell us exactly where you started from and where you are now, and also where you're going. You have to know. If you understand your purpose, you know where you're going. Look, the best story that we hear will be featured on the next episode of the Acromas podcast, as well as on our Acromas podcast page. And I'm very excited to hear some of this, because I know there are a lot of stories. I know a lot of people have been through a lot of crap these past few years, or whenever you went through crap, right? It happens at different times for us, but it's that story of triumph over tragedy. It's that story of getting back to where you were, getting back to where you want to go, understanding exactly how healthy habits can get you to where you want to be, and using exercise, the one thing that we all know is great for us, using exercise to change your mindset and ultimately change your life. So I can't wait to hear these stories. We'll see. I can't wait to hear what our community says about what they've changed and how they've changed. And I'm just gonna get motivated seeing it. I can tell you that right now, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be very exciting. And look, as you're on that journey, why not copy some of the Chromas merchandise, Chromas Fitness? Jay, to tell them how they can get their hands with some of this wonderful wear and
Look, man, I
accessories.
mean, absolutely. So, of course, if you've been here before, you've seen these episodes, then you know what we talk about, right? You know who we are. You've been through all of this before. But I'll help you out if for some reason, man, for some reason you probably did not understand exactly what we're doing. So let me help you out.
Break it down.
CHROMOUS. This kind of gear, this kind of gear can all be found at the Acromas store. That is the acromasstore.com. And right now, if you go to the acromasstore.com, you check out shirts, you check out sweatpants, sweatshirts, hoodies, pillows, phone cases, whatever. You check those items out. You go to where that promo code is and you type in never fall, and you will be able to get 25% off of anything in the store.
Man, that sounds so dang good right now. 25% off.
25%. Look, I mean, if you're going to exercise, and if exercise is going to change your mindset, why not join a community that is going to propel you to greatness? that is going to continue helping you walk down the path towards your purpose, towards your destiny, fulfilling all the goals and the dreams that you've ever had in a sustainable manner. Because that's what's most important, right? You don't want to be successful for 2 years, 3 years. You want to be successful for the rest of your life. The way you do that is by going through these healthy habits, understanding what your purpose is, understanding where your ultimate goal is, understanding those mini milestones that will help you get there, and ultimately taking action. Stop standing on the sidelines. Nothing's happening here. It's cold. It's lonely. Get out there. Be the leader that you were always supposed to be. Be that person that you were always supposed to be. Where you are now is just in a season. You can change your life today, but you have to choose, and you have to understand what your purpose is. And once you do not sit there with your purpose, knowing what it is, and not make any movement at all, because then you're just choosing where you want to be.
Choose that 1% to be better every day. 1%. Choose it
every single day.
Choose you
every single day. Every single day. Because you matter. You're so damn worth it.
So damn worth it.
Man. And that's what I love about this community, man. We get to share our experiences, not just something we're Googling here. This is what we've lived through. This is what we've been through. And we get to share this with you every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. And the one thing that you've heard throughout this entire episode, it's about goals, right? Your ultimate goal, your mini milestones, and all that stuff. And look, I understand that taking the 1% approach, it may take some time. Yes, it will. It will take some time. But on the flip side, I have heard in certain personal development circles about 10xing those goals, right? Instead of saying, well, I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. What if you say, well, I want to have $10 million by the end of the year? Let's say instead of losing 10 pounds in 3 weeks, I want to lose 100 pounds. Next week, we're going to touch base on if you should 10x your goals. This is something that it's a pretty interesting topic, because we all want to make sure that our goals are big, right? We love chasing those goals.
Yeah.
We you know what I'm saying? Like, we love to dream about the days that we're going to be fitness models, or we're going to have a 10-pack abs, or we're going to have $45 billion in our bank account, right?
Yeah.
But the question is it realistic? Should it be realistic? Is it sustainable? Does it need to be sustainable? We will approach this topic of if you should 10x your goals next Sunday in the Chromas podcast. That's going to be a pretty exciting episode, Will.
Oh, very. Man, there's so much to discuss on that one, because you really got to ask yourself those tough questions. Setting realistic expectations for yourself. It's big.
A lot of people go against realism. A lot of people don't like to be realistic. So we'll touch on that subject next week. We'll dive into it. We'll get your opinions on it as well. But once again, have a happy Sunday. We're thankful that you were able to join us today on the Chromas Podcast, episode 46. It's been an absolute joy to be here with you today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And until next Sunday, it is your boy, J.H. Gibbons.
And we'll see.
Yeah.